What's up, everybody? Just trying to get this chat window visible. Hey, Jordan. Let's see here. Okay. So, I was almost going to not stream today, but I had this read that's pretty interesting. So it's sort of a read I'm trying to make sakakeeny style. Hey, Alan. If you guys want to get on the Discord, we could do that too, but I'm happy to just stream and look at the comments. I got the comments here this time. But yeah, I was playing this read, and I'm trying to make it according to Sakakeeny's book and according to everything, of course, he taught me when I went to Oberlin. And this, is a quintessential problem, I think, when your read style needs to have a lower back. This is what it will sound like. So the issue is mainly if I play it with a good airstream that's not too harsh, it's 20 cents flat. And it's forcing me to kind of blow it up to pitch, but then the sound gets really harsh. So the sound is just unacceptably harsh. No good. So let me look at... Oh, that was probably too loud. Whoops. Forgot to switch mics. If anyone watching has a solution for that, I tried to come up with this is too loud also. I tried to come up with some kind of filter that would automatically shut the mic off when the decibels got too much, but I couldn't figure out a good way to do that without having both mics running, and then there's an echo. So that's something, if anyone has any thoughts on how to do that in OBS, how to have the mic switch automatically at a certain decibel level, switch and then stay there. That would be great, because I always forget to switch the mic back to the playing mic versus the speaking mic. Okay, so harsh sound, it makes me blow too hard, and those two things make me think the back is too thick. Okay, so let me scrape this now. All right. So it's funny that the one mic doesn't have as good color. Oh, a playback loop, like a mic loop? Thanks. Let's see here. Okay, I probably had some kind of monitor on, so hopefully I fixed that. Yeah, I don't know why certain iPhone cameras don't, or one of the three cameras, some of the color isn't as good. If I zoom out to here, color's more realistic. It's less yellow. This color is good too. And then at a certain point it goes back. Actually, that's better this time. I don't know what's going on. All right, so sakakeeny's reed style versus, say, a Hertzberg style. It's going to require a little more out of the back, and a little more off of the sides. So this reed really just sounds harsh, honky. It doesn't play unless I blow too hard, which only makes it sound harsher. So, and then a third thing I'll say that's really weak evidence, but it's something. It feels in my mouth like the front third is vibrating and the back third is not. This feels solid and immobile. It just feels like stone, like the back third of the reed is made of stone. So just trying to make it more compliant. We'll see. Maybe that's just a property of this cane. It's never going to work. But this is already a day 3 or 4, so I'm being pretty aggressive. It's time for this reed to work, or it's time for me to destroy it. Okay, so mainly the back third, but a little bit in the middle third, just to blend it. See, the rails are much thinner now. So that's still too thick. You see, it's thin up here and then back here is thick, so make it. Now in a Hertzberg reed, this is really thin for the rails, but otherwise, on the sakakeeny style, it's more normal. Huh. Wonder if it's still echoing now. Hey Max, what's up? Clean the file off, Andrew says. There you go. Okay. Is there still an echo in the audio? I wonder what that is. Okay, now the audio should be okay. Okay, great. All right. Well, how about this one? Is there any echo on this? This is a different mic. Maybe it's the mic. Cool. Thanks. One of the Byzantine audio settings must have been doing that. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so the reed was harsh. The reed was played flat because it caused me to blow too hard. So it was 20 cents flat, now it's only 10. right, so the sound is better. It's not great, it's still too bright, but it's much better than it was. Let me try it a little bit longer, see what we come up with for the next scrape. That open F just doesn't sound good. It sounds too thin and flat in a vowel way. So the reed is relatively flat at the first wire. I'm also going to see, I think this is just bad cane, but let's try a few more things. Another point I'll make is that mostly I'm going off of my gut and then I'm justifying it intellectually, which is probably how most people make most decisions, unfortunately. But I think the wires are loose. That could explain, and there we go. You see that first wire moving around a ton? Yeah, so this explains why it's really nice and vibrant, but yeah, okay, so let me just do this around this camera. Yeah, it's nice and vibrant, but it plays flat and it's just too bright. And it doesn't respond. So that makes me think either there's too much cane on there and yet it plays flat and it plays too vibrant, so it doesn't make me want to scrape. But now it's going to make me want to scrape. Now the second wire is better. See, there's only movement, there's only a little bit of movement, okay, so. Okay, now there's no movement, there's only movement on the stem. There's no movement on the ring part of the wire, okay? That's where we want the second wire. All right, you can see this is more round now here. Before there was no arch to this. It was just very flat. But now there's a bit of an arch. So this is going to make it more stable, more resistant, less responsive, sharper in pitch, darker in sound. Although the darkness in sound may be mitigated by the fact that I have to sort of blow harder now to get the notes out. But I think it's one of those situations where it's going to be canceled out. So it's tightening the wire is going to be +2 darkness, and the fact that I have to blow a little bit harder is going to be only +1 brightness. So it's going to the net effect will be darkening. Another thing, so tightening the wires obviously closed the tip down. Not obviously, it did close the tip down. And so that mitigated the fact that it's probably more resistant. So now I can open it, which again is going to darken it and sharpen it and make it less responsive, but make it more stable. And every time I do this, now this first wire is getting more and more round, sort of more in the normal ballpark of things. So it's really biased towards high notes. Tip opening sucks. You can see this bottom right is very collapsed. And it's too small. The tip opening is just too small overall. Oh, it's almost going to focus. There it is. Okay, so it's too closed. I'm going to keep rounding it. It's not responding. I'm going to look in the tip, make sure that all the tapers work up there at the tip. Get a nice clean new file for Andrew. It still just has this weird lack of response that makes me wonder what's happening with that. Probably, it may be just a principle of the cane, but it's probably something up here that doesn't quite taper to the corner. I just have a sense that the reed doesn't sort of want to close. You know, it's like there's too much in the channels. Not in any sound kind of way, just in a compliance way. So the reed just doesn't. It kind of wants to have a Whataburger tip opening, and so that doesn't really respond, especially low. Okay, this is probably like a day 3 read. Remember when the color was good? Oh, there we go. It's a little bit better. Somewhat better to the corners. This was the side that's collapsing. You can see there's too much out in here. So I need to, if I can taper the rest of this, that will make this point thicker. This is where it's too thin. So it's thin in these dots. And if I can scrape way up here, make the dots relatively thicker. But of course, this is already too thin, so I don't have any room to work with. So that's why we have it this way. I'm basically trying to taper a sheet of paper, so that doesn't usually go well. All right. All right, so that's playable now. I'm gonna practice on it. I'm gonna see what's happening. Actually, let me draw one thing. Yeah, so that's, I can practice on it a little bit and see what changes about it. But that's sort of a what I think is a sakakeeny approach. The gouge and the overall radius. Yeah, totally, Alexi. I totally agree. It's just, one time I made reeds out of a clarinet. Clarinetist gave me some tube cane, and so it was too big, and so the curvature was really, it was just too wide. It wasn't, narrow enough. And so I had these reeds with the tip like this. So I think that's, yeah, that makes sense. Alexi, didn't you play this bassoon some at Oberlin? 9498. Cool. It's great. It's really, really nice sound. I just wanted to draw one thing that I was doing at the corner of the tip. Where's that pencil? Okay. So, we had this, and I put these dots here where it was too thin. So, from back to front, it sort of looked like this, and here's the dot. So I had to taper. Let me draw that better, actually. Okay, so the dots, something like this. Here's the dot. This is where it's too thin. And then what I was trying to do was taper here, because that at least makes this red X a little bit thicker. Ideally, I would have the red X here, because the red X just indicates that this is the same as this. There's no taper. But if we had all that room, this would be easy to taper, and then the red X is no longer too thin. But because we're trying to taper this one, it's like a piece of paper. All I could do was this, but it still made it better, and the corner opened up a little bit. So, anyways, Alexi, was the open F bright for you? It's pretty bright on that bassoon, but I know it's also bright on my vocal, and it's bright on the reeds that I make. But I find with the resonance key down, the low E flat key, it's not bad. The low F is acceptable. So. All right, well, thanks for watching, and leave me a question in the comments, and I'll try to get back as soon as possible. Okay, see you next week.